Hello and welcome to You and Your Young Child, a program devoted to early childhood. I'm Sheila Biggs and I'm a former Dickinson County Commissioner and registered nurse, and I have been a longtime supporter of the health and well-being of families in Dickinson County. I have with me today Brenda Weaver, who is, by the way, Brenda, you may not know it, but I had your job at the health department 20 years ago. So tell us what you do at the health department.
Well, things have changed just a little bit, Sheila. My role at the health department includes maternal child health coordinator. So with that, I am working with women of childbearing years and young infants. I am also the immunization coordinator and a breastfeeding educator.
Very good. Breastfeeding. That's our subject for today.
Great.
Let's start with what the benefits for the baby are with breastfeeding.
All right. Well, the benefits start before the baby is even born. And I would like to make mention, late in pregnancy, a woman develops a thick yellow substance called colostrum. And the colostrum, also known as liquid gold, is packed full of nutrients and antibodies. Okay. And this is what the baby will receive the first few days of life, and it will give that baby a great big punch to its immune system. Then as the infant continues to breastfeed, the baby will still receive maternal antibodies, which will provide ongoing protection for his or her immune system. Okay. Some other benefits linked to breastfed infants include a lower incidence of SIDS death.
Very good.
Breastfed infants are also less likely to develop ear infections and upper respiratory infections as well. Later on, infants who are breastfed are less likely to develop obesity and diabetes. Breastfeeding also promotes infant and mother bonding, okay, which is very important for social emotional well-being, not just for the mother, but for the infant as well.
Okay, very good. You mentioned that the mother and infant bonding, and I'm going to ask you a question now that it's not on our sheet, and hopefully you'll be able to answer it.
Okay.
If not, that's fine. But I have a lot of fathers who have said through the years that they didn't like their, they wanted to feed the baby a bottle also. But I always said that there were other ways of bonding with the baby themselves because breastfeeding is so important. So do you have any answers to that? Have you had those same questions?
Absolutely. Some of the rules that caregivers can provide, not only does it help them bond with an infant, but it also relieves some of the burden to the mother as well.
Yes.
And those things would include diaper changing, burping the baby, just swaddling and rocking the baby. All of those are essential needs and important to social emotional well-being. Yes. Also, skin-to-skin contact. Just because a father does not have the ability to breastfeed does not yes. mean that he cannot put his or her baby on his chest to stimulate bonding.
Yes, very good. Now let's talk about the benefits to the mother, because there's lots of benefits to the mom also.
Absolutely.
Breastfeeding.
Well, as we've already discussed, Sheila, there is the positive social emotional well-being. Yes. It does promote infant bonding and attachment. And part of the reason for that is because skin-to-skin contact allows our body to release hormones that are naturally occurring in our system. Mm-hmm. And one of those hormones that is released is called oxytocin. And it is an important hormone that is associated with bonding. So you have the bonding as a benefit. Some of the other benefits include a decreased incidence of breast and ovarian cancers, reduced risk of osteoporosis. Not to mention you burn an extra 500 calories a day. So yes. with that being said, mothers who are breastfeeding are able to get back to their pre-pregnancy state much more quickly than formula-fed mothers who are formula feeding. And I also think because of that, it certainly does help promote self-esteem and self-confidence.
Great. Yes. We've talked about benefits to the baby and benefits to the mother. But are there benefits to our society as a whole with breastfeeding?
Absolutely. I would first like to mention that families who are exclusively breastfeeding can expect to save anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 in the first year. That is in part because they are not spending money on formula and supplies needed to formula feed their baby. Breast milk is free and readily available at all times. Because breastfed infants are healthier, there are less trips to the doctor's office for sick child appointments. So you have less out-of-pocket pay for co-pays. If you doctor out of town, you save on fuel cost. So all of those things add up. You're also not missing time off work, and not all employers provide the benefit of paid time off for sick leave. So that is also an expense that you have and can incur with a child who is sick more often. I do have an interesting fun fact that I would like to share with you, though. I came across some information that suggests that if 90% of families exclusively breastfed their infants for 6 months, it would save the United States $13 billion a year in healthcare costs.
Wow.
Yes.
That is very, very interesting. However, sometimes mothers have problems with breastfeeding. Can you tell us about some of those?
Correct. They do have some problems. Some of the common problems that can occur with breastfeeding include nipple soreness. Usually that is a result of poor positioning and improper latch. Initially, when you start breastfeeding, it's not uncommon to experience a little bit of discomfort, but it should never get to the point where you dread putting your child to breast.
Right.
It should never cause you that much pain. Improper latch can also lead the woman's nipples to become sore, blistered, cracked, and even cause them to bleed. And improper latch can also cause inadequate feeding sessions and can also affect milk supply. Right. Another problem a woman will likely face is engorgement, and this usually occurs as the milk comes in, which she can expect in about 3 to 5 days.
Some babies can't latch on during that time, which is very, very frustrating to moms.
Absolutely. What I tell moms that I am working with is I use the analogy, think about a deflated balloon and think about an inflated balloon. And it's much more difficult to pinch any of the balloon that is fully inflated as opposed to the one that is not. Engorgement, again, occurs once your milk comes in, which is, again, in 3 to 5 days, and it's a result of buildup of milk and increased blood supply to the breast. And like you said, Sheila, it will hinder a proper latch as well. So,
but do you have services at the health department that you have for women who might be wanting to get some help with breastfeeding?
Yes, we do have breastfeeding educators, as I mentioned earlier. I am a breastfeeding educator, and Renee Reedy is also a breastfeeding educator. And we do some other things at the health department too to help promote successful breastfeeding. But if time allows, Sheila, there are a few other breastfeeding issues that I would like to talk about as far as difficulties.
Let's first get the hotline number out.
All right.
because I think we are running a little short of time.
Very well.
Yeah.
La Leche League offers a 24-hour support line.
Okay.
And they do have 2 toll-free hotline numbers that are available.
Okay.
I don't have those memorized, so let me pull those here. All right. The first number, Sheila, is 1-800-525-3243.
Okay.
And the second number is 1-877-452-5324.
Okay. Very good.
And how are we doing time-wise, Sheila? Can we talk a little bit more about our health department services?
No, not today.
All right.
Maybe we could have you back.
That would sound.
I think that would be
great.
An idea.
Okay.
Because I know that we haven't even begun to
not
skim
even
the
touch
surface.
on that. That's correct. Okay.
Thank you for coming today, Brenda. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sheila.